Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome to the E-Show, presented by the Penalty Box Foundation. The Foundation's mission centers around their daily motto, "We take care of our own," as they help out all of those within the hockey community who have experienced a catastrophic event. Learn more at penaltyboxfoundation.org. What's up? My name is Neil Ravin, and this is episode number 57 of the E-Show. On this week's episode, we turn the page to February and the final month of the regular season. Kicking things off, we give a special shout out to Evan Donnelly and his family, whose home was recently badly damaged by a fire. From there, we take our trip around the league and break down the playoff races within each division. The breakdowns then continue with an update on the E-Crew Fantasy Challenge, which of course included all four of us trimming down our rosters. However, kicking things off from the very beginning of the episode, we chat with Jeff Cox from the New England Hockey Journal. I'm joined now by Jeff Cox, the New England Hockey Journal's prospects analyst. How's it going, Jeff?
Good. How are you, Neil?
Good. I appreciate you coming on. I think we talked about this early on in the season at some point, but obviously it's been such a very just weird year, kind of just gone day by day. How do you think the hockey community has managed their way through this pandemic?
A lot of the, leagues and, whether it be youth or junior hockey, I think deserve a lot of credit for being, creative and trying their best to get through this pandemic season the best they can. The fact that there's so many junior and youth and club teams that have played 30, 40 games, it really speaks to the amount of passion that the coaches and different organizers and guys, like you and the Eastern Hockey League that have done such a great job to try to come up with a season for these kids.
And you've been rather outspoken a little bit on Twitter about the different restrictions that states have here and there. It feels like the idea of a normal hockey season won't be a reality again until next season. Do you kind of get that same sense?
Yeah, that's kind of where it seems to me. I mean, I think the EHL, if I remember right, usually has their playoffs in March, and all the EHF and all the other organizations around here usually do too. And I think I just saw that the interstate ban was extended until through March, and college coaches can't be in the ranks until April at the earliest. So yeah, I mean, I don't see any real semblance of normalcy creeping back in until hopefully next fall.
Yeah, fingers crossed, right? And yeah, you're right. We do have our finals always at the end of March. I'm glad you brought that up because our group as a whole felt very passionately about ending when we're supposed to end. Not that there's a right way or a wrong way, but of course, you have the NA and the USHL leagues that are going to kind of go longer into the summer. Do you see any value one way or the other towards ending when you're supposed to or stretching things out?
I think both are fine. It's if the teams and the players and the leagues want to stretch things out, that's great. But I also understand, trying to end it when it's usually, when the season usually ends. I think the only advantage to me would be for some of the players who would have an opportunity to play in front of the college coaches if that season was extended past April 15th, or I believe is the current end date of the NCAA recruiting dead period. But I don't know. It's a good question, but I think it really depends on the league preference and kind of what everyone's feeling at the time.
And what's unique about it is, I never thought there would be any such thing as a dead period like this that has taken place for the NCAA coaches, Division III schools are allowed to go out and attend games, which of course is kind of the majority of our audience, but it then factors in their conferences and their own athletic departments. So that's why we've seen no NESCACs at any of our games. Do you think that, for our guys, it takes away, I guess, value that you only see some schools and not others at your games? Or do you think it doesn't even matter at this point?
I mean, I think for the kids, whether it's right or wrong, I think kids get a little bit more amped up to play when the coaches are in the rinks, and obviously, fan support is in that same category, and both are limited this year. But to answer your question, I've seen the same probably 3 or 4 Division II, Division III coaches at just about every junior game I've gone to, and like you said, the NESCAC coaches aren't allowed to be in the rinks this year. The one thing that I notice with video scouting and trying to recruit, if you're a college coach trying to recruit over video, is it's easy to kind of look for a player that you've seen previously, if you have someone in mind. But I think where it really hurts is the kids that might be a late bloomer, or someone who's improved significantly, and might have had a negative impression. The college coaches might have had a more negative impression on that player before and kind of wrote them off. Where if you're live watching it live, it's you might be able to, those college coaches might be able to see that. So I really feel bad for the 2000s, that the junior hockey age outs that might not get a fair shake per se for recruiting for next year.
Well, I want to go down that path for a second. I know you're not a coach, but I've had multiple Division III coaches come on as of late, and I've kind of asked this same question to each one. I want to just get your takeaway, because it is so unique that every year of eligibility, or every class, I should say, in college gets an extra year of eligibility, which then the trickle down effect that has on the age outs playing juniors, it's pretty huge. What would you say to an age out if you were advising them right now that's playing in the EHL?
I think I think I would say there are a lot of people right now that have difficult situations. Some more so than others, in all walks of life, not just hockey players. Whether it's your job being limited, or some people's jobs are they're putting themselves in danger to help others. So I think there's obviously a varying degree of challenges that everyone's facing, but I think I would just try to remind them that you can only make the best of the opportunity that you have, and do your best to play well, put up points, because this season, more than any other, I think what those college coaches are seeing on elite prospects probably matters more than past, when it was the eye test, and then the all in kind of combination with the stats. So I just think you never know who's watching you. So even if there might not be any fans or college coaches in the rink, you never know who's on hockey TV, or who's watching on hockey TV or Live Barn.
And what's really interesting too, obviously, is now a conversation that started to begin behind the scenes, that with every class getting that extra year of eligibility at the NCAA level, obviously you don't know how many seniors are still going to return, but for the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, they each have one more year. I'm not sure how much you've heard about this, but the idea of a current age out in junior hockey getting a chance to play one more year, where would you stand on that?
I don't know. I think that's a bad idea. I think the you know the chances of you getting a scholarship, obviously, to Division II, III is slim to none. I know some schools give some aid academically or need based, but I just think it's it's a unfortunate time for everyone, but probably I think the best, and I don't want to ever hurt anyone's dreams or, crush anyone's dreams, but to me, I think it just doesn't necessarily make sense because I think it's going to be in the same situation next year. And
Yep.
I think probably the best case scenario is for those kids to, go to college and walk on or, try out for the team or whatever the scenario might be at whatever level it is. And, if maybe they don't play a lot as freshmen because there are those fifth year seniors or older guys and just try to do better the next year. I don't know. I worry about that, path if we allow 21-year-olds in junior hockey next year.
No, I agree with you as well. And obviously one thing that we're kind of, I guess you can say, waiting in limbo on as we've reached out to all the Division II and Division III schools just to try and get a sense of what they're looking for in terms of a recruiting class for next season. And we're basically asking, how many seniors do you expect to return? And for a lot of those schools, they have no idea. There's still a number of programs that are trying to play some games this season. We saw Babson just play Castleton this past week. So for a lot of those guys, they're still trying to figure out what's going to happen with their current season. But off of that, one of the reasons why I wanted to have you come on the podcast is, of course, your role with the New England Hockey Journal, a partner of the leagues. Can you kind of dive into more of what you do for them?
Yeah, I go to a lot of the high school and prep school and midget games around here and try to, report on the players and shine some light on future talent, whether that be for college hockey, NHL, and then just also, provide some publicity for the high school and prep school teams around here and junior teams that could use some positive, publicity. Obviously, hockey's a bigger sport around here, but it's still a niche sport, overall. And I think anytime we can, shine light and promote some of these great players we have in the region, it's a great thing. When you look at it, it's hockey really is the only sport around here that consistently produces a lot of, big time college and NHL players, professional players. You don't see that with NBA or NFL or Major League Baseball from around here as much.
Yeah, and off of that, I always see you posting pictures on Twitter from a prep school game or a high school game that you're at. And what I've noticed that's so unique about this season, of course, one big factor is the borders being closed up to Canada, but the influx of players coming back to the junior leagues, not just the EHL, is almost overwhelming. But at the same time, throughout the majority of this season, there was no prep school hockey. So we
Mm.
saw a bunch of players come to our league that I would think in a normal year probably wouldn't. So, like, for example, you look at a player like Matt Fusco, and he's been at Dexter Southfield for 3 years now, or playing before this, and then he's got the chance to play 8 games now in the EHL as a 17-year-old. Do you think after this season we're going to see more of this, and how beneficial could this playing against older competition be for a player like Matt Fusco?
I think it's very, very advantageous for Matt Fusco to play against older players. I think it's a great opportunity for him and for any player. There's quite a few younger players that are in various junior leagues around the country this year from prep that wouldn't normally be there. And I think it's great that the EHL and other leagues have kind of taken a win. I guess the prep school's loss is kind of the EHL's victory. They've been playing and they've had some good players. I think I saw the Valley Junior Warriors play once or twice with Hayden Riva, who's a union commit from Berkshire on the roster. I saw them play back in, I think, December, with him on the roster. And so, I think it's a great thing for all these junior leagues. And I think hopefully if, the way I see it is that EHL and the other junior league should really use this as a selling point to say, hey, we tried our best for the kids, and might have had some interstate bans, might have not been able to play all the teams we wanted to, or might not have had showcases or all-star games, but we've done our best to get kids on the ice. And I think that's a great advertising moment for the EHL that they can say going forward.
And you bring up a couple great names there. I brought up Fusco. You bring up Riva. These younger players who most likely their path up to Division One will take them out west for either an NA or a USHL team. What do you see the difference really being for them going from playing prep against kids that are all their same age to maybe being a smaller guy and playing a kid that's going to be a Division 3 player? But what do you see the big differences for them other than that size when they come play in an EHL game?
Yeah, I think the speed of junior hockey is the pace is faster. Even if if you watch, just it goes up all the levels. If you watch a bantam game between two really good teams, it doesn't look as fast as 15U game, and 18U looks faster than that. And then you go to prep, same thing, and then junior, it's faster. Even if the players in those younger games might be more quote unquote like elite players or more high end, it's still you watch a junior game and it comes at you a little faster.
Yep.
So I think that's I'm not sure if I'm totally answering your question, but I think it's a great thing for those players to be able to think the game at a quicker pace, because that once you make that jump, every level you jump, you have to make those decisions just 1 second, 2 seconds faster than you did before.
Yeah, it's a transition that I kind of wanted to get into, because one thing that we always try and sell in the EHL is obviously with our league, 9 out of every 10 players becomes a Division 2 or Division 3 hockey player. And of course, when you're growing up and you're in the driveway, stick handling or whatever, shooting on a net, you have visions of playing Division 1, playing in the NHL and all that. But what we try and sell is that we have a very strong league as well. And playing Division 2 and playing Division 3 hockey is really not that far off from Division 1. And I want to bring up a tweet that you sent out right before the new year. I'm just going to read it out loud quickly. You wrote that one of the strangest phenomenons in hockey is how many people get offended when I suggest a player will be a good fit for Division 3. It's hard to make a Division 1 roster, and there are plenty of Division 3 colleges in New England that are great schools with good hockey teams. Can we talk about that some more and point out there's over 30 more now Division 2 and Division 3 schools than Division 1?
Yeah, I think the point of my tweet back then was to show people that there are good options, great options around here for Division 3, and many of the Division 3 schools around here are terrific schools. And you go to a NESCAC or a Babson, or those are unbelievable schools, academically prepare you for your life ahead, and they also have good hockey. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of reasons for people kind of snubbing their nose at Division 3, and I think some of it has to do with how much money people pour into hockey. Hockey is not a cheap sport to play, and I think it's kind of the return on your investment. Like if you play basketball or if you play soccer, you pretty much just have to buy cleats or sneakers, depending on whatever it is, and it's just, I think skates are $600 to $900 now, sticks are $300. It's just, and then obviously you have to pay to play club hockey growing up, and then junior hockey, unless you're lucky enough to play in the USHL, where it's completely free. But I just think that has a lot to do with it. But I just think it's I think it's great to have goals and aspire to be the best you can. But I also think it's important for parents and coaches and advisors to help those, kids have realistic expectations. I think if you realize that you're a good hockey player and you might get the chance to play Division 3, which very few people do, that's still a great accomplishment. But if you have this kind of vision goal of playing in the bean pot or bust, it's that might, when you do skate for a Salem State or a Norwich or school like that, it might not have the same um, amount of pride that it should. You should feel a lot of pride. I know it's kind of a long-winded answer, but I think it's a topic that I'm really interested in because like it's not easy to play from around here, and the Hockey East rosters are getting are having less and less players from here every year because they're finding kids from Finland or Sweden or Florida or places that Division 1 college hockey teams really didn't recruit from back in the 80s and 90s.
And it sounds like the biggest thing that you're trying to say is make sure that you look in the mirror. That's what I always tell
Right.
players that I meet on the road, because there are only so many options out there. And at the end of your college career, whether it's Northeastern or it's Norwich, you're going to most likely be 24, 25 years old. And maybe hockey is still an option for you, but most likely the odds say that it's not. What are you going to do at that point? And you pointed out a few schools in there when you mentioned Babson or any of the NESCAC schools. Academically, those schools and universities rival anything across the country.
Right.
And I
For sure.
oh,
For
sorry, you
sure.
go.
And no, I didn't mean to. I thought they're great schools, and I think it's also very important to say that they have great hockey teams. And
Yep.
Mike McShane recently retired at Norwich, and he was a great coach with a Division 1 background, and they brought in Cam Ellsworth, who was one of the best Division 1 assistants in the country.
Yep.
Jamie Rice is a great college coach at Babson, and I don't think there's a person in the college hockey that likes isn't the right word, but feels passionate and proud of his school the way Jamie Rice does, and that's a
Yeah.
great thing in my opinion.
And I just brought up that tweet because I wanted to point out you had 1,500 likes for that tweet. It really was something that I think exploded. Obviously, you have a big following on Twitter. I mentioned your Twitter a few times throughout this podcast. There's been a few tweets that have really stood out like that. But as time has progressed and you have this big following, do you ever feel yourself getting ready to hit send on a tweet and think, should I really send this, or does that not cross your mind?
No, it does. I've stopped myself a few times, but I think one thing I've always kind of taken pride in is being true to myself, and I don't want to be incendiary or but like I think sometimes it's important to be honest and shed some light and help people. And obviously just about every topic out there, there's going to be people that agree with you and disagree with you. It's not fun to have people disagree with you. I don't think anyone enjoys that or likes that, but I think, I try to stick mostly to talking about hockey on Twitter. And, it's just there's some issues that I feel strongly about. Like you said, we've talked about it. I feel strongly that the leagues and the hockey associations can should, and everything in general, not just hockey, but school, basketball, soccer, art, whatever, we should be giving these kids a chance to have as normal of a doing it safely. Like I'm not advocating for anything to be the wild west, but I just that's a topic. And then the some of the more hockey centric topics, like I've kind of talked a lot about advisors and agents over the years, and I think the Division 3 topic is an important one around here, because I just think it makes it easier for kids to understand that it's still great if you make a Division 3 roster and play Division 3, and it's not BU or BC or bust.
Well, between you and Mark Diver, I know that as this season has progressed, when there's been a rumor of some sorts going around about a shutdown or you name it, I've gone to either yours or his Twitter because I know the breaking news will be coming from you guys. So I appreciate that. Your Twitter, of course, at Jeff Cox Sports. Make sure for those at home that are listening, give you a follow. And I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. And hopefully we can do this again sometime soon when things are back to normal.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me on, and we'll do it anytime.
Thanks again to Jeff Cox for coming on the podcast this week. As you heard me say at the end of the interview, when it comes to breaking hockey news in New England, I either go to Jeff's Twitter or Mark Diver's Twitter because it seems like they always have the information right there on their news feed. But with that, let's bring in the E crew now. And guys, how's it going?
It's going, Neil. It's going. How's everyone else doing on this Wednesday evening at 9:12 p.m.? We're on a roll. This is the third out of the last fifth recording that we're recording after 9 p.m.
Yeah, it feels like it's 2 a.m. for me personally. But that's all right. It's Wednesday.
We're killing it.
Yeah, I think we're doing the best we can.
We're always killing it. All four of us. We're always.
Jeff, are you sitting in a chair right now?
I am. Should I stand?
No, Kyle, are you in a chair?
Oh,
I am. We're in our normal positions, are we not?
And Brittany is in a beanbag with a pillow.
Again, are we not in our normal positions?
We are.
Dude, I got this 5-foot beanbag for Christmas, and
Baller.
I swear to God, when I have a few minutes to sit down at my apartment, which is not many, this is where I can be found.
I was gonna say if Brittany's not in the beanbag, it's not business as usual. If I'm
it's
be
not.
honest.
So the
She's
question
not,
now
what are you
is,
doing?
as we start to look ahead, and I know that we're gonna have to record one of these probably from our hotel in Pennsylvania.
Wait, that's gonna be iconic.
Are we gonna strap the beanbag on top of the rental car?
Dude, yes, the beanbag's coming to PA. The beanbag is going to Westchester.
Can we make a video out of it and have Fleetwood Mac in the background? Like, you can go your own way.
That ride is going to be lit. That is going to
Go
be a
your
fun ride.
own beanbag.
You know what? It's not going to be as lit as my Saturday and Sunday.
I'm lit like Britney.
That sounds like a little longer ride, but hey, that's a story for another time.
But before we get to the Around the E show, I want to point out something that took place this past week that it still surprises me, even though it shouldn't surprise me. And what I mean by that is the way that the hockey community can come together. Like, it shouldn't even surprise me anymore about how awesome it is. But we have a situation with one of our players in the league on Team Maryland. His name is Tommy Donnelly. Been there for, I think this is his second year now with the program. And his mom is actually also the billet coordinator for the organization. And they had a huge fire in their house this past week. I'm sure you guys all saw the GoFundMe page out there. And it's just like, you click on the GoFundMe in the beginning and you're like, oh, $1,000, $2,000. And then like half a day goes by and all of a sudden now we're at almost $35,000. And like,
it is, dude. Wasn't Tommy Donnelly on the Rev? You mean Evan?
Evan Donnelly, yes.
Right.
I was gonna say.
oh, what did I said? Tommy? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't want to. Yeah.
I know a Tommy Donnelly. That's why. But with that, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, with the GoFundMe page, like, it's just, while it shouldn't surprise me, like, it's just cool to see it happen and happen as quickly as it did. And I know Robin Remick set the whole thing up. She's the president with the organization, does a bunch with both the EHL and the NA team. And we had a couple of emails go back and forth. And she's like, the one time you shared it made a huge difference. It's like, I hope it did, but like, I think it's just overall, like, everyone sharing it. It was all over Twitter. It was all over Instagram. And it wasn't just the league. It was all the players. It was so many players from other teams also across the league. And it was
right.
just,
and you think about
cool.
the connection they have to Youngstown and the Black Bears too. And I saw the Youngstown Phantoms post it too. So it's like, not even just, like you said, our league, but spreading it across the community as well.
Yeah.
And we can continue that, right? I mean, we'll continue to keep on sharing. No?
Yeah. Did you see the picture?
I did. Yeah.
That was like, whoa. Like, I couldn't even imagine.
It's like scary.
It's really scary. So,
And
my
it's
thoughts-
cool that we've now brought this. Sorry, Neil, to cut you off, but like we've mentioned this. I mean, we've had a few tragedies this year, sadly. When we had the Page incident earlier this year, and it was the same thing, Brian Page.
Yep.
It's just it really is very cool to see that, like you're saying, the hockey community is very tight. And while all these coaches go at each other's throats, they're competitors on the ice and in the locker rooms. When it comes to something like this, everybody becomes one again, and we're at that point of the year where everyone's trying to go for each other's throats. It's down to crunch time for Frozen Finals time.
Yep.
But yet you have something like this and people realize we have a lot of good humans in this league. And it's a very comforting thing to see, because in 2021, there's a lot of not so great humans out there, but we have a surplus of those in the league. And that's just a really comforting thing as someone that works with this league to see. And like you said, it's a family that really needs help and they're getting help. So it's just an awesome thing to see. And it just kind of leaves you speechless at times.
And I'm sure they would trade all of that money for the event to never happen. Like the same with Brian Page, trade all of that money for that moment to never happen in his life. But people are still donating to Brian Page, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the GoFundMe? It's at $325,000. Like, that's just simply like out of this world. So
chills.
Yeah, no, exactly. But with that, let's start making our way around the E-Show.
It's time for this week's segment of Around the E-Show.
And Around the E-Show is brought to you by the Junior Hockey Podcast, your home for junior hockey news, knowledge, and nonsense. Check them out at tjhpodcast.com.
So, do we want to just jump right in with the who are the blank question?
Yeah,
I
but
love
who
it.
is who
It's
are
one of our
we?
favorites.
Who is the subject of the week?
That's true.
The Chiefs.
That question has been brought up before. I am
Okay,
swiped.
let's
the
roll
Wizards.
back.
The
Yawn.
Wizards. The Wizards.
Who are the Wizzies?
Wizzies.
Again, I have no clue.
Who are the Wizzies? The Wizzies are the second half team of the decade. Well, they just lost their most recent match, but
against the Chiefs, right?
against the Chiefs.
And
Still
like
7-3 in the last 10.
Yeah, and when
bad.
I was calling that loss to the Chiefs, I know the Chiefs have 30 points at the time of this recording, but at the time of that game, they had 26. So Wizards and Seahawks each had 27. Chiefs and Railers each had 26. And like, they're going to all play each other, right? Like, obviously the Warriors, we have to mention. Brittany, you want to give it to them? Andrew?
Yes, I'd like to congratulate Andrew Androkopoulos on Coach of the Week. I was gonna say Coy. That's Coach of the Year. The cow. Oh my God, Andrew's the cow. Wait, he's gonna be pissed. Hey, Andrew, congratulations on being the cow of the week.
Way to go, double A's.
I don't want to sound like the Warriors are locked into 7. Obviously, they have some work to do to move out of 7, but that team has a win over the Rangers, the Express, and the Avalanche this season.
Yep.
Okay, they're like, I obviously was there on Sunday. Shocker. I was at the BIC for a BJR home game. Who'd have thought? But
Shocker.
I know, shocking. Their record truly does not reflect the way that they play. Like,
It does
they
not.
are just like a hard team to play against. Like, they're like little rascals. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I actually
Yo,
agree.
why are you calling me on the phone?
Why are you calling me on the phone?
No, I'm literally not.
That's
Look,
fun.
look.
It
Neil
literally just said
Ravin
that-
is calling me.
Neil
just said
Ravin.
You were calling
you
me.
need to call me or I'm
Excuse
so
me, Neil
mad.
Ravin. We're trying to record a podcast. Can you
Dude,
please stop calling
again,
Brittany Hart?
these
Ugh.
people and my fans are crazy. My fans are insane. Stop calling me paparazzi. Enough.
It's a tough job, B, but someone's got to do it, kid.
Dude, I know.
Can we
I
make a new TikTok for Brit with Lady Gaga paparazzi as the song?
Ooh,
Yes,
Did I just
dude.
did I inspire
like
you?
That, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
I wish
Let's do it.
I need to like make another TikTok account, or I should try to be TikTok famous. Right now, my TikTok account is just me acting like a moron and it's on private. But maybe I could get TikTok famous. All right. Anyways, let's.
Dude,
move
that
on.
sends it
with-
back. Lady Gaga
with that
paparazzi.
being
That's
said-
like we were in college then when that was going on.
Dude,
Bad
that was like my
romance,
jam in
bad
like
romance.
seventh grade. Like seventh grade, we were like dancing around to paparazzi at like school dances.
Yeah, see, we were in college and Brittany was at a junior high dance.
Hey,
Caught in a bad romance. But we were all in bad romances at the time, you know?
Oh my
college,
God.
junior high, you know,
oh
whatever.
my God. Anyways,
Right,
back
well-
back
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 to
to
the
the
EHL.
Central Division.
Okay. Well, you started calling me. It's
Yeah,
your
Neil,
fault.
stop calling
It
us.
literally said that you were
Jesus.
calling me.
Well, it said you were calling me. So again, paparazzi, relax. I get it. My fans, I need to provide for my fans, but now is not the time.
It's
But
like
going
when
back to the Central Division conversation, Britt, I had that conversation with Ryan and Andrew when I called that last Wizards game to fill in for Neil. And I said that. I was like, who are you guys? Like, you guys only have 8, or at the time they had 6 wins or 7 wins. Either way,
Yeah.
like we had just mentioned, and Neil just broke it down. Every time you win, you're beating a top 5 team in the league.
Right? It's like
So
people, you hang with your own.
Talk about the
crowd.
playoffs, guys. Columbus
Nuts.
Blue Jackets of 2019.
EP Squitieri, block your ears, sir. Ship's going
Not to
down.
put you on the
But
spot, but this is a good league.
Dude, why'd you
It
just
is.
leave me a voicemail?
What are you
Dude,
talking
someone
about?
hacked your phone.
No,
Where's
look
this
it.
going?
Hold on. No, like I'm not even joking.
It's probably us
bro.
talking.
I have a
No,
56
look,
second.
it says. All right, everybody. So I don't know if anybody has heard us say this before, but there is a ghost on this podcast, and it's
That's now
goddamn
hacking
back.
our phones.
Ooh.
Dude, I have a 22
Dude.
second voicemail from Neil. Wait,
And he's
wait,
got a voicemail from you.
wait.
50
I want to see what
56
happens if I
seconds.
click it. Wait, everybody,
What?
pipe down for a moment.
Huh.
Okay, I want to talk about the Central Division,
Wait,
guys.
quiet. Wait, just be
Yeah.
quiet for a second.
When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Wait.
Beep.
And then nothing is on it. All
Nothing?
right, there's
That's
a ghost
creepy.
for
Wait,
sure.
no, put it closer
There's
to the
a-
mic. You'll hear. Talk about someone else other than the Rangers.
Oh my god, I feel victimized. All right,
Of the
moving,
EHL.
moving
back
Talk
on.
about
on.
someone
Gotcha.
else other than the Rangers.
I will say this. I
Anyways,
will say
everyone
this.
peeped my Brits commits with Nathan Young on Friday from BJR. Yeet.
Well, I have had people
Hey, baby.
ask me in the past if they could guess the meeting ID and hack their way into the podcast. I was like, that would be pretty impressive if you found a way to do all that. But
That
Because-
would be wild.
yes, the guys.
Anyone
okay.
could
I-
link
I-
into mine. The password to my
This
Zoom is
week was
EHL.
wild.
Yes, okay, so we're so off topic, and I'm going to get us more off topic one more time,
Excellent.
and then we're going to get back to topic.
So,
Guys,
Okay, so
you
the
get-
train's derailed. Go.
Well, yeah, so we're going a little
Off
bit
the rails
further
early.
off track, but then we're going to come back. Last
Okay.
year, you gave me such a hard time for a saying of mine, and then it happened this past week. It was
Wait,
legit
what?
pouring snow
pouring
the other
snow.
night.
Oh my god, it was pouring snow.
And then, like I said, Neil, I am not lying. I said that exact thing to someone else. Said that I was like, "We're gonna get a ton of snow. We're gonna get a pouring amount of snow." And I was like,
Yes.
"Oh my god, it's
Yes.
Neil. Neil, what did you do to me?"
That's
Ah,
actually so funny.
So
rubs
so,
off on you.
So now back to the Central, as we were trying to get at, and Jeff alluded to before, we're closing closer and closer. We're in February, which is just bananas, right? And
Yeah, dude, it's time to go suit shopping, Neil. We gotta get some new suits
Seriously.
for the
Oh my
Frozen
god, it's
Finals.
almost time to go Westchester, PA shopping. Ah.
And right now, if the playoffs started today, the Rangers would have the bye in the division. I think we all feel comfortable with saying that's going to happen, especially with the games in hand that they have on Walpole.
Yeah.
Walpole
Not
would
even the games, the point.
but they have games in hand, meaning that they
Not
have
a lot,
more.
though.
They have more games to play than Walpole has to play.
Even if Walpole wins out, it's like the
Yes.
Rangers could win out. Yeah.
Right. The odds are in the Bics' favor.
Yeah, so the Rangers have played 30 games. Walpole's played 29.
I
as of
think so,
today.
or
Yeah.
it may be 30 after today. We'll have to check on that. But my point being, the Rangers
Regardless.
are the one get a bye. It would be Express versus Warriors, the 2-7 matchup. The 3-6
Ooh.
would be Chiefs versus Railers, and the
Oh.
4-5 same matchup as last year.
Wizard Seahawks.
Wizzy
correct.
Seahawks
Oh.
and Jack Johansson tucked. Like
Let's
tucked.
go. Let's
That's a
go.
tough
Captain
one.
Jack. Let's go,
Wow.
buddy.
Dude, Captain Jack tucked heavy. That was actually a sick goal.
So that could change, right? I think what's interesting is like you look at the standings right now. Rangers obviously 1 game winning streak, won 8 of their last 10.
And then it's a
Walpole-
cluster.
Yeah, Walpole won 4 straight, 8 of last 10. Chiefs only have won 4 of the last 10, but won 2 straight. Then everybody else is on a quote unquote losing streak. So it's like the up and downs of that division. And obviously, I know I've tried to bring it up in this podcast. You don't want to.
hardest.
Well, no, I'm talking more about figuring out who your matchup is, because I just think it's so weird how some of these teams just play so much different against others. Like I started to say before, the Warriors with a win against the Rangers, Express, and Avalanche. Can the Warriors then win that playoff series against the Express?
Oh God.
Oh, geez, some
Oh,
crow, buckle your
golly.
seatbelts.
It's
We'd
a
have-
matchup thing.
Flying pucks everywhere. Madness. Be flying pucks out of the sky if that happened.
Do you want to talk about the North, Brittany?
Oh, not really, but okay.
All right, I got a question for you guys. I'm
kidding.
what?
I have a comment.
I like Walpole for some reason. Obviously, Boston. Like we can't talk enough about Boston. They're deep. We get
No,
it.
I'm trying to figure out how I would spell Walpole based on the way that you say it, and I really just can't
Walpole.
figure
It's
it out.
okay. I can make fun of you.
P-A-W-L.
So
Yeah.
Walpole.
Um,
W-A-L-P-A-U-L.
Walpole.
Walpole.
So the Seahawks seem to just wake up and play everyone hard. And I've talked to other coaches around the league, and they agree. For some reason, the Seahawks are a tough team to beat. And I feel like when it matters most, I'm curious about them. I'm not questioning you guys. I'm putting it on the table. I'm stealing Neil Ravin's spot as host. The Seahawks in the Central.
I don't know. They're not consistent. Sorry.
They have 27 points. If they win, they could be in third place.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but they're just not consistent. If they're more consistent, be more confident about that statement. But it's like one day one goalie is hot, then the next game they're not so.
So Payne is not consistent.
I said some goalies. I didn't use a specific name because I didn't want to bash anybody for once in my life. So I will plead the fifth.
Wait, you don't want to bash anyone? I mean,
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
This is getting hot and heavy early here.
Before we move on from the Central
I
to
want
the,
to talk
to the
about
North,
the North. Actually, I changed
yes.
my
Ooh,
mind.
let's go to the North.
that playoff series last year, we all have recognized that Bill Zanaboni is just one of our favorite human beings. Right?
Yep.
Even though he unfollowed me on Twitter, Bill, you fraud.
Wow. Well, that's because your roster had so many Rangers, but we're gonna get to that. Because you actually cut a lot of Rangers off your roster. But,
I wouldn't say lost.
But Bill gave me one of my favorite playoff moments ever, because last season against the Wizards, they actually earned their first ever playoff win in franchise history. And
so cute.
in that series, the road team won all 3 games. So the Wizards won on the road, and the Seahawks won on the road, and the Wizards won on the road. That's how the series ended. In the game at the Edge, the Seahawks won in overtime. And just prior to the game winner being scored, there was a shot that like rocked the crossbar, like right off the front of the bar, and like went
Mystery
out
Alaska type.
like yeah, it was like a hard shot, went out the other side, and like Jeff knows where I stand. I'm on the other end, away from the furthest bench away is the visiting bench.
Yep.
Acts like I haven't been to the Edge 900 times in my life. All right, word.
We got to get you up to the podium, though, Britt.
No, thank
The-
you.
the
I
moving-
would no.
But like
no.
Bill
Our
gets
moving
up on
booth.
the bench, and he's like, that went in. That was a goal. That's a good goal. You gotta count that. And like play continues, right? There's like no whistle, and then like a minute later they score, and then afterwards I go, Bill, I'm a long distance away. That didn't go in.
Not
He goes,
go in, yeah.
he goes, I know it didn't go in. I go, what were you doing then? Oh,
Yeah,
I was getting in the goalie's head.
Dude, because he was a goalie. He was a Division
Right.
One goaltender. For all of you at home that don't know,
But
Wow.
Jeff, correct,
I've
right?
done the same
Strategy.
thing as a player.
That's
so
what
I
he
agree
said.
with him.
that is very smart. Bill.
He goes, I was just yelling it as loud as I could because I knew he could hear me. And I was just putting that little bit of doubt in his head. Did that go in? Did that not go in?
Wow.
And
Dude,
then all of a
that
sudden,
man is
it's going.
loud
Wow.
too.
And he
That
figured-
man's is loud.
And that's
You
why he's
figure
the
if
coach
that
of the
rattled
year.
him, if that rattled the goalie the slightest bit and took his attention off, he's like, "Oh no, did it go in?" And then he just starts thinking, and then next thing you know, slap shot, score! And it's like,
Yes.
oh,
Yep.
what?
So
That's awesome.
Wow, that is
with
some,
that,
that's some, like,
shifting,
Queen's Gambit. Like,
it was wild. It was
mind
awesome.
game
Man. One of my favorite stories because Bill's the best, right?
well done,
but-
Xander.
Shifting up north, what do you want to point out, Brittany?
I kind of mess with Jimmy and the Jacks. Low key.
Oh, Jimmy
Low
and
key
the
mess with
Jacks.
Jimmy and the Jacks. I'm not
Welcome
gonna
to the
front.
Welcome
Guess
to
what?
the
This is
top
one of the
five.
few
Jimmy and the
times. This
Jacks.
is one of the few times that Brittany and I will agree. Right there with you.
Yes, I'm a fan of the Jacks.
Paul Feinleis. Feinleis.
Neil's laughing because he gets what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Are you jacked up, Britt? Britt, are you jacked up? You're not
No,
fired
no,
up.
no,
You
no, no,
jacked
no,
up
no,
right
no,
now?
no, 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 no. If
No,
this
not
was
there yet.
VTL last year, I'd be jacked up. This
Okay,
is not the
all
case.
right. Just
You know
checking.
what?
Gotta check your pulse.
Paul Feinleis, we'll get to you in a minute. My guy. I also not a big point guy, but go off Connor Nagy, King. Love him on D. Good kid. Great kid. Yeah, I don't know. I just mess with Jimmy the Jacks lately.
Not a big point guy. Not
Wait, that was actually so rude. I'm gonna get called out.
Right?
Wait, that was so mean.
Ouch.
Wait,
How about
that
my
was
boy
wait,
David Raduzzi?
I have my opinions. I have my
Duzemeister.
the point that I wanted to bring up is obviously in the Central, I think there's so many teams that you really can't juggle where you want to be in the standings, right? If you're in the North, I think that you guys can agree with me.
It's
Right
anyone's
now,
game.
well, it's anyone's game, but the Avalanche are going to be the 1 seed, right?
I need to look at the
Probs?
Yeah, just
They're kind of in that
Can
same
somebody read it to me?
Yeah.
The standings
The
never
Avs are
work
the
on my
1 seed,
phone.
Yeah.
16.
Technically.
It's a 16-point lead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the standings in the hot. Yeah, but the Jimmy and the Jacks, Dylan
yeah.
Infantino, Connor Nagy, and the Jacks are like have 2 games compared to them.
Okay,
Neil wants to
so
make
it's
his
a
point.
it's a 23-point lead over the Jacks.
No, but I'm saying like they have 80,000 games more.
Yeah, Vermont's
But the point is, you still have to go on an absolute heater in the final month. Most likely,
Well, you know what? Maybe
Neil,
you should have
I'm
moved
all
from
ears. Let's go.
BTL to
Let's go.
and
NHL
they're going to have to
earlier.
play New Hampshire as well.
that's
all
what I'm
ears, Neil.
that's
I'm
what
all
I'm
ears.
trying to say. Is
Okay.
like
I'm
the
just
lumber,
saying.
like the other 3 teams right now are fighting to get out of the 4 seed. You have to be, because you want to avoid playing the Avalanche in that first round and within your division, and then give yourself a chance to knock off. I think we can kind of agree that the Avalanche still are the top team, and the Wolves, the Spartans, and the Lumberjacks are all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when those 3 play, Neil and I pick who's gonna win every game. Breaking news, but I like half the time, like, bro, I have no idea. Can't even. Half the time, I'm like, oh, there's a TikTok right now, and you guys wouldn't get it, but it's like that, the Mario Kart sound when you guys like hit the box, and then it spins, and it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo. Come on, anyone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like people do that on TikTok, and then it's like, the example I want to use is not a thing, but like that's me when I'm trying to pick the games. I'm like, that sound is like playing in my head, and I'm like, bro, the Seacoast Spartans of the day, like, great. I'm like, I have no clue.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the Wolves
Neil,
are kind of.
you really think like it's clear and cut. It's the Avs now. I'm not sold, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've been saying this for weeks now. We can go back on the podcast. There's something weird in the North, and this is before the Lumberjacks even started playing. And I mean, Brittany said it. Meek Mills. Something's going on there in the North.
Well, yeah,
The water's weird up there.
My point is
And
not
the
that the
respect has to be there for the Avs. You're right,
it's
Senator
not that-
Raven. You're correct.
I'm not saying that they're going to win it automatically. I'm saying the other
Good
teams are
chance.
trying to avoid playing them for as long as they have to. If
See,
you
I disagree. Okay.
if you're the Wolves, you'd rather
I
play
don't
the
think that- I don't
Avalanche
think that-
first than
no.
the
You want to
Spartans
I
put
or
think
George
Lumberjacks?
McMichael, the best
Every
goaltender
team in the
league?
North has beat them. I don't think they fear them like they used to. I think times have changed.
They don't fear him, but I don't think you're desiring to play them. Is what you're
Yes.
saying.
I wouldn't in the North. It's a toss up. I don't think you go into any matchup. It's like I don't care who you play.
I can't wait to see Kyle's North Division playoff bracket. So remember for Kyle to know
We
with
did
the
these last year. That's
with the fantasy, we obviously have the points that we're going to still accrue at that time, but we're also going to have like bonus points. So like if you say that the Wolves beat the Avalanche in the playoff series in 3 games, you get bonus points towards your
I kind
total.
of forgot we did
that
that.
that was insane. That was fun and
So
a heart
well,
attack.
you have a month to think about that. But then
Yep.
shifting down south, was it this time last week? No, I think it was after we recorded last week.
Sevens had
Yes.
not clinched.
Yes, it was Friday. It was Friday when they knocked off the Apple Core, clinched the number 1 seed, already locked in, already done, and now their focus is on the regular season title. Which
Ooh.
let's begin
Ooh.
let's begin the debates of the night. the regular season champion has never won the playoff championship in the EHL. So do you want to change history or avoid history?
Right now, and I talked with that on. I talked with that
Good
with.
question.
I can't speak. I talked about this with Younger on Brits Commits because I was talking about how they're like 1 point off from each other, like
Yes.
in the standings. BJR and Roll Sevens. So
So
now
who
it's
wants
like
that?
dun dun dun.
I don't think either team's scared of that. I don't think either team, knowing Coach Hooley and Coach DiCaprio, and I don't think.
Rich is
I don't
probably
think-
like laughing at it. He's like,
Yeah, he's because last year he tried to right the
JR
ship.
and
He
New
was on the
Jersey
list.
are quote unquote finish the job. Right?
Well,
like these are the
unfinished
guys who are
business.
With that said, Jeff, last season when
no champion.
when I presented the
Yep.
regular season championship trophy to the Boston Junior Rangers,
they all
They
like
all-
ran for the
Don't touch.
hills.
Don't
they
touch it.
all got into a little like pile in the middle of the room, and they said
Gotta respect that.
if you just
This was pre-COVID, folks.
you just put it down right here, we're not gonna touch it. And then like they all
Yeah.
like they took the picture and they all like backed away. I was like, okay, I'll take it back now. Like
Yep. It's just like you do when you win the Eastern or the Western
Ah,
Conference. You don't
yeah.
touch that. You touch Lord Stanley.
That's
You want-
awesome, actually.
Crappy.
We should retweet that now as a throwback.
So it'll be interesting to watch
Facts, boys.
after the 87s down there. I think it's turning into. I know Kyle. Does he have the Protect hat on still? No, he changed for the Red Sox hat. I know
Sox.
he's not going to love this, but I think it is turning into a battle between Maryland and the Little Flyers for that second seed in the second playoff.
Maryland pulling away though, huh?
Yeah, my boy Halen Cookston. How are ya?
Yeah,
Brits
dude,
Commits.
Great
So is the
interview
Brits commit
too, by the
segment
way.
now gonna
Dude,
elevate
like, you know
people?
what?
Awesome
Halen
interview,
Cookston is somebody
by the
we
way.
missed out on fantasy. I wish I took that kid now, and he tells me all the time, "Oh, no one has me on
Well,
their
he was kind
fantasy
of a-
team." And I'm like, "Yeah, no,
We couldn't pick him though, Britt, at the time.
no, we could have when we redid our stuff. Remember when we could trade out our people for whoever the heck we wanted
Yep.
to? Yeah,
That's-
he's what I wish
That's
I
a
could have
fact.
freaking dished into my
But,
lineup.
in all
Hey,
honesty,
you're doing
though, like,
okay. You're doing all
one,
right
of,
there.
one of the best interviews of the year, in my opinion, was Brits commits with young Halen Cookston. I enjoyed that interview. You guys listen to it? The young guy from California.
I haven't yet.
Jeff,
comes
you're
over here.
fake. You're fake.
I'm
So,
fake.
All
He's-
seriously,
haven't listened to it yet?
it was an awesome interview. But anyways, Team Maryland,
to
in
it,
my
Brett,
opinion,
promise.
Senator Ravin, I feel like they're going to pull away with this one. After I was pulling for Connecticut early in the year, and then I was like, little Flyers. Mikey, when you call me GM Papa, all of a sudden it's Team Maryland. Boom.
so
Dude, TMZ for life is on fire.
I need to point out two things about the comments that were just made by the crew. First, Halen Cookston. When you go back from November to December, right, and you look at that period of 11 games, he
was
only
low-key, bro.
tallied 7 points in that time. So,
Right, but look at him since, bro.
well, that's what I'm getting at. It
Yeah,
didn't
that's
spark
what-
any of us to pick him in January because then January comes around, he gets a point in every single game, right? And he tallies, quick math here, 15 points in the 7 total
Yeah, he like
games.
doubled.
Wow.
He did though, right? Because he has 30 points. He doubled his point production in 1 month. And then I'm not sure if you guys saw this in my stars of the month, either stars of the month or stars of the week. I pointed out for Team
Yeah.
Maryland. We're hyping Halen Cookston, and he deserves it all, right? He's been a great
Yeah.
addition to that team this season as a 2000. He's one of 3 players on that team with exactly 30 points.
yeah, it's him.
Denise.
It's him, Dennis,
Marchenko.
and Maurice Vincent Maurice,
No.
blah blah. I have no idea actually. I couldn't
No,
tell
it's
you.
not.
We got
It's
one.
Greer, right?
Bobby
Bobby
Geyer.
Bobby Geyer,
Dennis Archipelago.
right?
So
Yeah.
3 guys right there that have a combined 90 points.
We didn't pick
Right,
any
their
of them.
team like Loki's on. They're I don't know what Fusco's up to down
So
there.
I'm
but
in
it's
last
good.
place for fantasy. I'm just saying, I got some boys.
Well, it gets better though, right?
What?
3 players combined for 90 points, also
Yeah.
combined for 34 total penalty minutes. 3 players.
Wow,
Lady
We
we
Some
love
Bears,
staying
what
out of the
up?
box.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah,
being
those
like
boys are staying out of the
nice.
box.
Yes. I wonder who just
They're
said
good
Lady
men.
who just said Lady Bing?
Not me.
Bye.
Because that's what we typically have called Rich the past few years.
I serve.
What does
I-
that mean?
Lady
Is that
Bing
why
is
Meek Mills raised his hand?
I don't
was
get
me.
it.
so
Oh, I was the one
the
that said
Lady
Lady
Bing
Bing.
award in the NHL is given out to the team with the best sportsmanship. So the joke amongst some
No wonder why I don't know what it is.
the
It's when
joke
people are
amongst some
nice.
EHL coaches is that the EHL should have a lady bang for the least penalized team in the league.
Oh,
Who
That'd
is
be
it?
great. We should.
Who
do
is
that.
it?
I don't
Who
know.
is it right
I
now?
have no
In the
idea.
league?
I mean,
I'm gonna go Avs.
By
Actually,
one
they've been-
penalty minute, they are in second to last.
Okay, so
You know what? Compared to
Rangers?
before, though, they've been very good.
Yes,
It's because
agreed.
Tim Cronin's not on our team anymore.
My
Who
God,
is it?
the Protect Ducks.
Yeah!
woo!
And you know where Corey Felitti is not followed in Freddie Meyer's path? Penalty minutes.
Bro, that team loves
Dude, they-
to sit in that
yeah.
penalty box. They love it.
Oh my God! Just in the what have I done? 3 games filling in for you, Neil? Yeah, 3. Just in those
Dude,
3
wait,
games, we've
How
had
many
it
minutes do
crowded.
the Jacks have? The Jacks have to
Oh.
have mad minutes in like 2 games.
They're fifth.
Oh well, they had that game
And they
against the
haven't
Warriors.
played that many games, so
That
that
came
says
back-
something.
Yeah,
Was that game
Protect
back in
tonight doesn't
November
get enough
against the
credit
Warriors?
Either way. Oh boy. Protect. Who has the
Actually,
most
no.
goals per game?
I think
Guess
it's
who's
either
ranked
BJ or
fourth?
Sevens.
Protect.
87.
Protect is ranked 4th goals per game.
It's kind of whack.
Yeah, talk about quack, but
Oh. I need to leave the chat. I have exited the chat.
So with this though, it's actually a great transition because I'm going to start bringing a new debate with me to each episode of the podcast. We started
okay,
to talk
so
about
what is
this
today's?
a little bit in the group text. So I'm going to have 3 player comparisons for you for this
Oh.
first debate.
Okay, go. I want to go first.
Okay.
I thought this was just for Brittany.
No, this is for the whole group, but I know that she's going to talk first as soon as I say it. So,
Don't say the one that I said in the text to
Nope.
you. That's so
Nah,
stupid.
this is like
New
respect.
England Wolves. If you
Okay.
had to play a playoff game today and you only pick one guy to be in your
You're gonna
lineup,
say
right?
you're gonna say DJ Schwank or Donnie Feldman.
Donnie Feldman for the win.
Dude, I
Please,
literally
thank
read
you,
your
sir.
mind. It's stupid.
Well, it's DJ Swanky. We used to call him Swank when he first got into the league, and he loved it.
well, I don't know. You know what? Damn.
That was
I
my
don't like-
that was my question, by the
Right.
way.
Obviously, I know I can read your mind.
I'm going Felds, but that's because he's on my he's been
Dude,
on my
like
fantasy
Loki,
team. Thick and
like
thin.
Loki, same. Like Johnny Clutch is what his nickname should be. Like, oh no, like that boy knows when to go off, and it's most of the damn time. So I'm going Donnie Feldman.
The
a
kid
lot-
is a beast. He's a
He's a
trained.
beast. I'm so excited to see where he goes to school. Ritz commits Donnie Feldman. You're not much of a talker, but get yapping, buddy. He's so
Okay.
quiet. He is so quiet. It's redonk.
Okay,
Get
so
yapping.
the group seems to be leaning towards Feldman over Swanky, and that
Could go
debate.
Jelensky's too.
Yep.
Another great player. Brits
Yep.
got him.
That's one. Second one,
Okay, wait. What's your answer though?
Feldman. I've been
Okay,
very
Kyle,
impressed.
do you even know who DJ Schwank is?
Donnie. Oh,
Well, you know, Brittany, to call me out on this is a little.
What? Listen, I'm just saying. I've
Um,
seen the kid play
I've
for like
been,
3
I've
years.
been with the
now.
league since September.
and he hasn't been able to
So-
come
You
up
guys are-
north because of COVID protocols.
Yeah,
I said as he
Not
seen
fair.
Schwank, bro. I said Schwank, not.
Yeah, it's
All
about
right.
time.
Anyways,
But
moving on.
I
moving
agree
on.
with Brittany. I
Next.
agree, I'm Team Brittany. I agree with Brittany.
Most people are not, so that's a rare
Boston
opinion.
Junior Rangers.
Uh-oh, I hate this
Oh.
already. Freak.
Billy
gonna
go-
Gerard, Billy Gerard or Nathan Miller.
Miller.
Billy Gerard.
Billy.
Gerard.
Billy's
mean-
the GOAT.
Billy was a beast.
Yeah, Billy is a damn
Good
beast.
interviewer too. Love Thomas Vokoun. He's a Florida kid from the Florida Panthers. That was back
Ooh,
when we were all
nice.
doing those interviews. That was a blast.
Dude, fact. That
pretty
one was
cool.
wacky.
I have to
Nah,
point
Billy
this out.
for sure.
It's a hell of a story too.
Big Thomas Vokoun
So,
fan.
Billy Gerard, of course, played one real year as the full starter for the Rangers. The first year, he kind of came in about halfway through. Ultimately, he sits 6th all the time in the league and wins at 42.
He was
Right.
unbelievable. We
Yeah.
wanted to see his playoff run. That was going to
Yeah,
be
sweet.
last year. He was going to.
Yeah. And
Yeah. That sucked.
Miller, though, which it is Miller, found this out from
Now
Coach
Mueller.
I
DiCaprio.
think it's funny
Miller,
when
not
Rich puts it
Mueller,
in
yeah.
parentheses and writes Miller in parentheses. He did that
Yes.
the other day, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, the Scratches
So-
told me that like way back in the fall. They were like,
The
yeah,
Scratch Squad? Yeah,
Miller.
Scratch Squad's at BGR's elite.
Scratch Squad. Yep.
So he's 17-1-0. He has the most
Um,
wins in the league
Is he
at,
really? Wow.
at 17. He has the best goals against average in the league at
Yeah, his save percentage
1.61.
is elite
His
too.
save percentage, I gotta sort this, is
949.
950 now, and 3
Okay.
shutouts. It's the only category he doesn't lead in, where he's tied with George Smith Michael.
Here's George.
You say Gerard. I think maybe in a year from now, if Miller's still here, maybe
he's an 01?
Yes, he's an 01.
I think you should check the stats. Is that real?
Yes, he's an 01.
Are you sure?
And the parity, quote unquote, is different nowadays. And
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like last year, like you could play who he like Gerard played the Avs 90 times, not 90 times, but like a handful. Like I don't know.
no, I mean she
is
makes
Nathan
Brittany
Miller
Lincoln
my
keep going
goalie
here,
for
like,
fantasy, and am I gonna literally pull for him the whole playoffs? Yes, sir. You know that's the fact. But if I had Billy Gerard on my team, ew.
Yeah, I still go Billy, but
Yeah, me too. Anyways, next.
Billy.
Last
I
one.
like these questions, Neil. Good job. This is a nice ad.
Last one of the week. Then we go to fantasy.
Okay, I'm going first again.
Connecticut Rough Riders.
Ugh.
I already hate this one.
What do you want to know?
Andrew Bella or Colin Bella?
Colin.
Oh.
How can you jump and say that so fast? Andrew
Because
Bella
I just
scored
loved
40
watching
goals.
him last year.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I don't know. Like if I wanted to go watch a Rough Riders game, like, oh my God, that kid lit it up. Like he was gross. Manhattanville, Mville, get up, Valiants. I don't know.
You said Colin, you meant Andrew then. The older brother.
Oh, what? I think I said Andrew the first time.
Yeah, Colin's the one that's still playing. Andrew.
Colin's the
Right.
one that's
I
still
think
playing.
I said it. I said my correct answer initially, but then I
Okay.
screwed it up.
So Andrew Bella, I think, played 2 seasons with the Rough Riders.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Sounds right.
And the second year he put up 40 goals, which while we're
That was
speaking
last
of-
year.
Yeah,
right?
that was last year. Speaking
Yeah.
of records, 40 goals ranks 3rd all time for a single regular season.
Yeah, like
Who's
100% at 100% Joyce Bell.
For most goals in the season, no.
Ooh.
Well, Savell was more
wait,
of a
wait.
Savell was more of a
me.
passer.
I have a guess
Hello?
after Brittany. Okay,
Wait,
Brittany.
can I get a
Ladies first.
hint on the
Because I got a name before
Wait,
Brittany
no,
was
not even the
here.
team. Not even the team. I want a hint on the conference, please.
So that's a tie. There's 2
Yeah.
players that have hit 43, and there's one that's hit 40. Well,
Okay,
Bella.
Logan. No, Logan was a big assist guy. Damn, I hate it here.
Wait, can I pull like the Wayback Machine?
Samir Abuhana for the win.
We're
Shit.
totally missing all these.
How about I feel like I just want.
Alex
I've been wanting to,
Ochterbeck.
I've been wanting to
Alex
say
Ochterbeck.
this name.
That's
who was it?
one. That's
Ochterbeck?
one kid that
Yes,
scored
that's
43
right.
goals.
Go, boys.
In a year
Was
when
it-
he actually missed about 3 weeks with a shoulder injury too.
It
No,
wasn't.
that's a tough one.
He's tied with a former MVP.
All right, so I just wanted to say this name because I remember this kid from I think 2013.
No,
Remember
we're-
That
on
was
two-
before
Do
mine.
you remember Pontus Ogerblad? Big
yes,
Swedish
I
kid?
do,
Dude,
but
what the? All right,
He was
wait,
filthy.
so
He
former
went to go play for
How
you,
can anyone
Maine.
forget him?
Neil State, you Maine.
Wait,
Yes.
He went to go play for you,
was
Maine with
MVP, bro?
Perez and Ogerblad from the
Yeah,
Wilkes-Barre
so-
Grand Knights. I think.
Can
Alex-
I have a conference, please?
so
Again,
Alex
like
Ochterbeck
second-
one season hit 43
Yeah, bro.
goals, and the other
Okay.
player did it from the other conference, and his team wore a lot of the colors that Jeff is wearing right now.
Oh, he's a
Shit,
wizard.
what was that kid's
Wizard?
name? What was that kid's
Oops.
name, bro?
Devin Panzica.
Devin
Evan
Panzica!
Panzica!
Yo,
Wait,
dude,
he scored 43 goals in a season?
dude, Devin
Panzica,
Panzica
I
because the
remember him.
rookie of
Wow.
the year that year was Dylan.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
Dylan
The
Chouette.
Dylan Panzica.
Chouette,
So,
yeah.
so just to put a bow on the Bella versus Bella debate, this is because we got there
Also,
with the-
sorry to headphone users. I apologize.
Colin Bella, of course, played with his brother last season, put up 37 points in 44 total games. Missed some time this season due to injury, but he's already got 35 and 21 this year. So he's going to put up more this season than last season. Can he score 21 goals in the final month of the year to tie his
Oh
brother?
my.
Is he still on Kyle's fantasy team? He's going to hope so.
21 goals would be a month to remember, but he is only an
Oh.
0-1, so I'd love to see him come back for one more, maybe full season next year. And then in that full season, maybe we could have another Bella versus Bella debate when he puts up 41 goals to Andrew's 40 and surpasses him in the EHL record books.
Oh, and then we have next season where showcases come back, fingers crossed, and we can
Oh,
see
boy.
everybody, see all these teams again. It's happening.
But with that, let's now transition into fantasy because, guys, it's February, which means we trimmed our rosters.
Before we wrap things up, here's what to watch for this week in the E-Show.
Everybody, get ready. It's time for the E-Crew Fantasy Challenge, brought to you by Bertucci's Brick Oven Pizza and Pasta, your home for authentic Italian dishes, catering, and group dining. Check out their party pizzas and specials at bertucci's.com. Fire me up, folks. Let's go.
Wow, Brittany, that was one of your best reads, kid. Look at you.
I know.
Killing
Biz
it.
Nasty, who I was not embodying him
There was only-
Usually it takes her a good 10, 20 seconds to gather herself.
Well,
I know.
Jeff, see, that's the
Tours.
only one thing that was wrong with that. When we recorded your read, you did me a nice favor. You took a nice pause there. So I can go find it in the file. There was no pause in that one. We went straight into it.
I'm sorry.
So I'll
Guns blazing.
go through fantasy the way that we have each week. So Brittany leads the way at 883.2
Stupid.
points.
Just dumb. Stupid.
Yes,
Makes
sir.
no sense. Fake.
Yes,
Didn't
sir.
happen.
I
Fiction.
have
What the F?
845. Jeff
Crazy.
has 805.4 and Kyle
Kyle's
has
hiding.
660.8. So,
We're all in the 800 club. Kyle, you're still in the 600 club.
so
Come on, brother.
As for this past week, though, Kyle put up 56 this past week. Jeff was second, so we'll go to third this past week, which was Brittany at 97.2.
Ooh.
Tough week for the boys.
Falling down a couple
Yep.
notches.
Jeff at
No.
102 and myself at 122.8. So
Yeah, I had a nice
the
14 goals,
the
14
boys
assists.
were
Hey, how are
sleeping
you?
this week.
yeah,
The
so let's
boys
go
were
through
sleeping.
let's go through Brittany's roster first. And obviously
sir.
we go from top of the standings down to the bottom, and we have to trim 12-8-3 down to 6-4-2.
This was stressful.
And
Yeah, it
to
was.
Brittany's credit, I'll count for you right now. We cut 1, 2, 3, 4 Rangers. So it wasn't.
Yeah,
Brittany,
It wasn't as high as I thought it was, but it's still 4.
Right, it's still 4. I like low key
Must've hurt.
regret it. All right, so do you want me to go through my people?
Yes.
Okay, so at forward, my 6 forwards, Kei Yasuda, buddy, step it up lately.
He's leading
Jesus
the league in points.
Okay,
like-
but if you look at his point totals lately compared to what they used to be, wake up.
Oh, she's
For
right, though.
Christ's
It's,
sake.
it's different guys getting on the score sheet for the
Right.
87s. It is
Adam, sit them down. Stop being rude. Next.
not a bad thing, though.
Stop being rude.
Horrible for me.
Let's
Next
go.
up,
Sevens.
Paul Feinlease, my guy. Thank you for the kind message. He's an absolute sweetheart, and thank me for picking him. Oh my gosh, couldn't be nicer. Next up, I'm gonna go. I'll
Lady Bing.
skip one. No. Next up, Ricard Jelenski's. Great work so far, buddy. All right, continuing. Now, this was the hardest decision here.
Great work,
Then
buddy.
I had to. I had to figure out my BJR forwards, and you know what?
Oh, this was
This
like
was
cutting
hard.
adopted children for you. This is like,
Yes, it literally is. So who I
it's like, I'm
wound up
sorry, little one, go back to school. I'm sorry."
literally. So who I wound up going with, the boys are gonna be pissed. First up, the king, Andy Moore, absolute weapon, love him.
Hey, more.
And then we go A Moore, then we got J Moore because
J. Moore.
you can't get one without the other. Then I had to go younger. Jack Moore, that was for you. All right, anyways, moving on. On D, we'll keep with the BJR theme. Jake LaChance, kid just got D of the week, not a big deal. George Weiner, D of the month, single-handedly. I actually won't finish that sentence. Congrats on the commit to Wentworth. I might have had I might have single-handedly got that commit done myself. Not a big deal. It's fine. All right,
No
then we got the Whiz
prospect.
kids, Jack Johansson, Papa. I don't know. Good D pair. Put up points. Go off, Kings. In goal, LJ Newell. He's on the rebound. Lost today, but that's all right. And then we got Nathan Miller. I didn't pick him for overall BJR, Billy Gerard, blah blah blah, but that's all
He's
right.
there. He's back.
Okay, so
There.
that's her team. It's the greatest team of all time, guys.
Yeah, it's the
and
GOAT.
Always.
and it'll be interesting to see, and what myself, Jeff, and Kyle are pulling for is Players named Connor Bazal, Joey Schaefer, and Nick Latvala have your way with the month of February because
I
those
would
points
just like
don't
to
count.
say, dude, my decor is
Shoot away.
filth compared to all of
Yes,
yours. Like my
well,
decor is nasty
It's
compared to you
no
guys.
one
Oh,
has
mine's
taken
pretty
it.
filthy too. I don't
We
know.
all
I'll
have 4
argue about
defensemen.
that.
How's it that nasty?
It-
No, but like
what-
my decor is like has like the top scoring D in the league.
Yeah, dude,
think, like, the
Papa
top two.
Papa's been on fire.
Dude,
lately.
Jack's been on fire.
He's
George
been- so
Wiener
is
did
Jack,
the
yeah.
month. Like, chill. Don't.
But like Papa, we were all like chewing on him, and then we were like, "Oh yeah, Britt, you can take him." I'm pissed that we did that because he's been
Yeah.
lighting it up.
Who's the highest D scorer in the league? That the way I just wrote that was absolutely like a moron.
I'm doing it
think
right
it's-
now. So
Might be
one,
Jack or Papa
no,
actually.
one is George Wiener.
Yep, on
Two
my
is
team.
Jack
Yeah.
Johansson.
On my team.
Use team Wiener.
3 is Zach Papapetros.
On my team. All right,
Damn it.
words. Yeah, shut up,
So you have
everybody.
1, 2, 3, literally.
Yeah,
Wow.
Literally, like,
4
what?
is Dylan Gutierrez. That's Kyle's team.
All right, but also Jake LaChance did not start the year at BJR, but since he's come, yes, sir. All right, anyways, let's move on to whoever's in second.
Okay, that would be
Next.
me. I had the
Okay.
best week of
The
anyone.
way
this past
the way
week.
she chirps all of us boys, we don't deserve this.
Listen,
don't-
all I'm
Quite
saying is
frankly,
like the
I'm at
bet
the point
that we
now
made.
where like I don't even want to play for my fantasy team. Let's just make sure Brittany loses. It's just it's so cocky.
no,
and
sir.
annoying.
Listen,
Knock her
the bet-
down.
Oh my gosh!
The
And
bet
I
we
guarantee
made-
you, all the podcast listeners, like, can this girl just stop? I mean,
They
like all the
definitely
Boston
are.
people are like, yeah, let's go, and everyone else is like, no, like let's root for Neil.
I know
Don't
that
even
Connor
root for
Gasol
me.
do be
Root for
listening to the
Neil and root for me,
podcast,
Neil.
and he's gonna listen to Neil, and he's gonna be like, "I can't believe this broad cut me from her team."
So,
Oh, this is great.
with that,
kid's
part of the
laughing.
reason why I had the most points this past week of the 4 of us was because of 2 players.
Yeah, Braden Patricia and
No.
Dante Terra. Oh,
No, I think it
oh,
was a
Egan Schmidt.
defenseman,
Sorry,
right?
Egan
E-
Schmidt. Egan Schmidt.
Egan Schmidt and David Raduzzi, who got me a boatload of bonus points. Plus, Egan Schmidt literally scored all 4 goals in
Yeah.
one game for the Lumberjacks. when
Brittany's,
they beat the
yeah,
Avalanche.
Jimmy and the Jacks.
So 28 points from each of them this past week.
Oh, damn.
They
That was
go
a good.
to your team that I helped you pick out.
Is
You're
that
welcome.
good?
So
That's-
now
wow.
my team, I had an easy time with the first couple guys at each position. So immediately I grab, or I keep Braden Patricia, Dante Terramani, Zach Simon, and Egan Schmidt. Lean hard towards Michael Carducci. He's had a great season, and they have a lot of games to play this upcoming
move.
month. And then I was kind of on the fringe between Assam Jiwa and Ryan Terse, but it's the extra power play time for Terse that I think helped me a little bit. And while Brittany won't give me credit for Paul Fine-Lease helping her with that one, I have to give her credit with her help, having me help with Terse. So
I'm
that's
a
my
big Terse fan. So,
that's
yeah.
my 6 forwards. My D, which clearly I guess are not as good as Brittany's 4D, but I
Hey,
do.
although I
Not
did
even
donate
close.
one of them to you, so
Donate.
dude,
Should be
Jagger
fun.
Benson was all me, bro. Like, relax.
Donate. He was never on your
Yeah,
team.
donate.
Yeah, I know, but I donated my
Congrats, all
knowledge
of a
of him. I donated what's in my brain.
I hope he
on
listens to
this
this and
kid
says,
team.
"I got donated." Oh my god!
Yeah,
Wait,
right?
true. Kid's gonna be Rattle City. I
So,
called him a donation.
My 4D are Rory Gresham. Keep an eye on him. He's been playing very well as of late for Team Maryland. Todd Philibert, been a great addition for the Express in the second half. Jagger Benson, obviously big fan of what he's done for the Railers. And Declan Bronte, solid 3 assist day today for the Chiefs, who
Hey,
have been
Jagger
playing.
got you a power play goal.
Yep.
Chill.
Yep, and the Chiefs who've been playing JP Mella a lot. So I keep Mella and I keep David Raduzzi. And just so Brittany can hear me say it, I had a very long-winded conversation with, according to her, my best friend Cody Campbell,
Cody Campbell. Hey.
about what to do between Raduzzi, Mella, and Eric Buckholz.
I
And
think
I'm
I
going-
would
This
have
is
done
good
what
for
you
me.
did, though. To be
I know
Yes.
where this train's going. I know where this red train's going. Choo choo.
Yeah, so I'm going based a lot off the number of matchups down the stretch, and a goalie can get hot in the playoffs, and you may change your mind, right? Like I forget what year it was, but the Seahawks, I think it may have been last year or 2 years ago. Like Tristan Hadley was their guy, and then another goalie got hot, and it kind of flipped in the postseason.
Mhm.
I guess I'm leaning towards most likely Mason Palmer being the guy for the Express,
Always.
and knowing that in the
Forever.
same token, the Raduzzi and Miller are the guy for their team. And I really don't know which one I'm going to pick when all is said and done for the month of March, but I have a month to figure that out. So with
That's
that,
a good call, though.
yeah, let's transition to Jeff's team now. And Jeff, you had a better week this past week. He had
Sure
102 points. Obviously, a big win for McMichael in there over a top 5 team. Which one was that? That was a Lumberjacks win, I think, or a Spartans win. That's what it was. And we mentioned
yes.
Donnie Feldman. Like, it just feels like every week for you, Jeff. It's like just
Feldman.
chalk up 4
You
goals.
should pay him.
goals. I
You should
should.
pay him some. You should cut him a check. Honestly,
I'll give him something.
All
I'll
right,
set
So
it
how
well,
did you trim down to your 6-4-2?
I need to like look at who your old forwards were because I don't
Yeah,
even know who you like dished.
I was gonna say, so I'm looking at my spreadsheet that Neil kindly put out to this. The only thing I wish was I wish we could have seen how many everybody had, like everybody's totals since we've had them. I could have done that if I'd added everything up, but I did not have the time to do that. So you just kind of run
Did you
through.
cut Parker Sondag?
I did cut Parker Sondag.
Are you on drugs? I'm
Well-
just curious.
Well, Brittany, I can
Wait,
tell you,
what? You cut Parker Sondag?
I had a lot of really hard cuts. Another one that I cut. I don't want to. When am I going back to Wizzy's country?
You cut Steph.
I cut Steph.
Dude,
Steph.
I'm actually like pissed at you for these kids. What the heck? All right,
Hold on.
word. Keep going with who you cut. Oh my god.
Let's say, do I keep going with who I cut and then say who
I am appalled at who you
Dude,
cut.
it wasn't easy. I literally was like having heart palpitations because I was like, one, I like these kids. Like Steph, I just talked to the other day. Now I'm gonna go see him. He's like, thanks, D-bag. Like,
Do you like love the apple core? Like Christ.
no, but like Neil said, dude, they play
Boom.
14 games. 14
Oh,
games.
unfortunately
month.
I did not select
You have
anyone
to-
on the core.
And
Shocking.
Ruzkowski and Callanan have been lights out. Ruzkowski's got, I think, 15 points, and he's only played 10 games. So I had to pick him with 14 games. Callanan is also up there. He's got, I think, 27 or close to 30 points. Big power play. Both of them are big power play guys. So I had to pick both of them with the 14 games. The one really tough decision, my last forwards. Actually, let me bring up my entire. So Ruzkowski, Callanan, Feldman, we already talked about. That was the easy one. I was like, oh, Donnie said it and forget it.
Right, well, Bailey said it. and
Bailey
forget
was
it.
also set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Yes. I was getting there, Brittany. I was getting there.
I love
Actually,
her
me and
atti- I
Riley
love
and
her
Bailey were
attitude right
talking
now.
about how you love him today.
Oh my god.
Who was talking about that?
Me and Brian Bailey.
Oh, about how much I love him?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Is Ryan okay with that? Is it
Yeah,
okay with my
he
love?
knows you're a big fan.
Good. I'll see you Friday, Ryan. I'll say hello at the Bic. So
You
then
get to go to the Bic?
I do. 11:45 a.m. face-off. Rangers. Seahawks.
Maybe I'm not. Really.
Get up. Get up.
Let
But-
Jeff finish his team.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, and then
sorry.
the other easy one was Lorenzo Macalin, my other boy. He's filthy, puts up millions of goals. And then so the last four was the biggest one I had the toughest decision with. I was going back and forth between my boy Cookie, Marcus Cook, has been great all season long, has been really hot at certain stretches. He's creeping up on 40 points. I think he's got 35
Was sus speed
points
last
now.
game? Not a big deal.
Nice.
Wait, excuse me?
He's fine.
He was sus speed. He was sus speed
he's
not
back.
today, but the game before.
Okay. Dude, he's like the nicest kid. I talked to him in the parking lot. How the heck did he get such speed?
I talked to him.
What the
in
heck did he
the-
do?
let him screaming.
I did. He
Right.
parked next to me, and he was friggin' it was after one of the Wizards Rangers games I filled up for. I had a really nice conversation with him from upstate New York.
Oh my god!
about,
So you're a
like,
big fan of
Placid.
Cookie and Bailey.
We talked about Northwood Prep Academy and all. Yeah, we talked about all sorts of good stuff. He's really nice.
Wait, so
kid.
Cookie and who?
Cookie and Davis Bone was the other one who's got 17 goals, 4 assists. I was chewing on both of them. And Vermont's got what, 12 games in hand? I still like want to. I'm like shaking because I'm like, I want. Whoa! Score! Bruin score!
I thought that you dished Sondag so quick.
Okay,
I know.
Jeff,
He hasn't done a lot lately for me, and
That's
I
like
know-
Kayasuda. I kind of wish I dished him. But
I gotta
So,
wrap this up.
we know that Jeff
Sorry.
went with McMichael and Palmer. He actually told us
yeah, that
that
was
last
easy, too.
week.
Yeah, that was
So
fun.
so you're 4D.
4D, Ruro Too Smooth on TikTok.
he just
Boy.
committed to Becker.
Well done, Row. Congratulations. Congratulations, Becker. I'm sure that'll be a graphic from Justin Squitieri coming soon. Let's see. Tyler Drummond from Worcester, from the Rails, the Blue Train. And then Dominic Chirico, another big TikTok guy, has also been putting up buckets of points.
First team all TikTok.
Points.
He has. He's been lights out since the Chiefs relocated to Western Mass. And Christian Hallbig was my last defenseman that I picked.
Ooh,
So I did not pick Bjorn Schupbach, another one that I had a tough time. I chose Hallbig over him. Hallbig's been getting a lot of power play time, it looks like, with Sorella and Mario. So I was like, you know what? And they have a lot of games too. I think the Avs play 10 games, I think, Neil, in
I think something
February?
like that.
Somewhere
Yep.
around there. So I went with that, with games in hand too for them. So
And speaking of the games in the hand, Kyle went with that same kind of mentality. Before I let Kyle speak to his lineup, the one performance I want to point out from this past week, I know Jackson Bernard gave up 7 goals today. He still made 65 saves.
Yeah.
shut
Holy
up.
bejesus.
What?
That's
Hello,
still
hashtag Thomas Walker. What's up?
Oh my
like,
God.
that's still a
Holy
6-point game, right? Like that's still a 6-point game. Like that is
65 saves.
that's
And I kept it shows him.
He saw 70 pucks. He
Yep.
saw over 70 pucks. That's insane.
you kept him, Kyle. Are you gonna what you usually do? Are you gonna work from the back end up for your lineup?
Oh,
No, you know, and I'm honored
What's up?
that I can still do this, even though I'm in last place for fantasy hockey. We still have a month ahead of us during the month of February, but great fantasy points are born
great fantasy points are born.
from great
Yes.
opportunity.
Who was that? Was it Julius Caesar that said that? I forget. Who
Oh
was
my
that?
God.
I thought about this all day long, and this is what I wrote. And that's what we have here this month, boys.
It's
That's
like
what you've
Given Sunday
earned here tonight, this month, 1 month. If we play the North 10 times, they think they win 10 times, but they win 0. You're in the South, the Mid-Atlantic cheese, the Mac. We will fight.
So your
A
lineup.
moment of silence.
So
Because I'm
so
in last
lost.
place, but I still believe in the team. So Nick Swain, New Jersey 87s, Michael Leva, New York Apple Core, Denise, help me out here on this, Neil.
Arkapenko.
Oh,
Arkapenko,
it's
Team
Dennis. It's literally Dennis.
I would say Denise. Anyways, Tim DeBoard, New Jersey 87s, Jason Gordon.
Gordon, but we don't need to get.
Yeah, I'm
fancy.
gonna sprinkle some mac and cheese on this, Britt. Like,
Let's not offend the kids.
relax.
Yeah, I'm chill. I just know they complain when they left.
Dude, she's in a beanbag. She couldn't be more relaxed. She
Jason
just-
Gordon.
Literally.
Jason Gordon, and then the last forward, Kyle.
Mikey G and Papa,
Okay.
Oh, I had to go
No.
with him. Got
Kevin
to
Weiss.
pop.
Dylan Gutierrez. You gotta help me out. Walpole Tabir.
Tabor
Tabor.
Gutschik.
Yeah, that one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, and then Cal Kuel.
Good player.
Good Stevenson commit. What's up?
Also a good player.
So kind of relying on the 87s here. Not a
Yeah, seriously,
not a
you
bad
people
move.
trip me for BJR. Chill.
Well,
Relax,
you know,
dog.
I'm kind of taking notes from you, Britt. Now you're kind of like chirping. You're like,
Again, my fans
Kinda like taking notes
love
from you.
me. My fans love me. What can I say?
yeah. So
Britt,
I'll see you in the
Brittany, you
finals.
did kind of get in my head with the cookie pick because you're what was one of those things you said to us in text last week about
I didn't get to finish my
like,
picks.
I'm not trying to please everybody. I'm trying to win the league here.
Oh
So,
yeah, I'm the most. Dude, people pleaser is
Not trying to-
not even in
Right.
my top 2,000 adjectives to describe
not.
myself.
it's definitely
So yes, to finish, Cal Coel again, Peyton Durand in goal with Jackson Bernard, who we just talked about, pretty impressive. This guy can clearly make saves. So
Yeah. Those are our lineups for the month of February. It's going to take us right through the end of the regular season, which of course will be followed by our playoff preview. I haven't structured how we're going to do those episodes yet, but I would imagine there's going to be a lot of podcast episodes throughout the entire postseason. But the
I'll be
first one,
screaming for all of them, so
Yep,
headphone
yep.
users, turn them down.
the first one, we're going to take the rosters that we just gave you, and we're going to turn it into 3-2-1. 3 forwards,
that.
2
I
D,
don't like
and
that
1
either.
goalie.
Nope.
And it's coming from what the group that we have right now. The only way you can change the player is if someone's season ends for an injury, and you have to pull them from the list that we had for January. So the thing that we have to watch in the month of February is, of course, when one of your players in your March lineup gets eliminated, you don't fill that slot. That's it.
gonna be sad day.
So I was a little surprised that Brittany did not want to put all of her eggs in one basket and have 6 Rangers forwards, 4 Rangers D.
You
and 2
literally told me not to, bro.
Wow, an upset in the playoffs.
Well, also, why would I pick the BJR D-men besides Jake LaChance when the top 3 are all on my team and they're the top 3 in scoring for defensemen? That would be a bit foolish, I must say.
It could be. But with that, there's a huge schedule of games coming up again this week. I know one game in particular I'm watching is also on Sunday night. Part of the reason why I have this playoff beard going for Tom Brady, I have to give the shout out before we sign off because I am going to be all in on Sunday night.
I'm gonna be drinking heavily, crying probably,
which we don't advise.
Maybe playing some ping pong and a life raft. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So, with that, enjoy the games, guys, and we'll see where everyone stands fantasy wise this time next week.
Bring it on, folks.
See you, crew.
See you at the rink.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.